Hey, this is Danielle, and today we're going to be talking about Microsoft's impact on the NASDAQ and the next upside targets. So, taking a look at the NASDAQ on a 5-minute chart, on Friday, the market was really strong, looked like it was going to close out on the highs, and then right here at the end of the day, some news came out that Sam Altman was ousted from OpenAI in the CEO role. What ended up happening was we got some high volume selling, market sold off, Microsoft dropped about $6, and the market ended up trading lower during the overnight session on Sunday until late last night, very early morning. What ended up happening was that Microsoft took their opportunity to take Sam Altman on board and apparently a bunch of OpenAI employees as well. And at this point, it's kind of funny because hundreds of OpenAI employees are threatening to follow Altman to Microsoft unless the board resigns. So apparently, there's 667 people who have signed the letter stating that your actions have made it obvious that you're incapable of overseeing OpenAI when they only have 777 employees. So what's really interesting about this is we now have Microsoft up. We have a huge high volume move in the NASDAQ. We have the NASDAQ up 0.77%, 122 points right now. And most of all, we just have this phenomenal move in Microsoft and a massive impact that is yet to come. Now, Microsoft has already had a pretty big artificial intelligence impact with ChatGPT and their investment in OpenAI. But with everything that has occurred over the course of the past few days, it appears that in some way they may be absorbing OpenAI. And most importantly, they're absorbing their talent. So this has huge impacts for Microsoft. And if you know me at all, you know that Microsoft is one of my absolute favorite stocks. So let's go ahead and talk about what it means for the actual price action. Now, looking at Microsoft, you can see that it made a new high today. So, can it keep going higher? Well, I'll tell you that there are still higher overhead targets, 378, 382, 385. These are the ones I would use on a, like a day trading time frame, shorter time frame. We do have a 78-minute squeeze, which suggests that we could make it a little bit higher, especially up into 380 at that key psychological value. But I think where it's most exciting is if you look at a higher time frame chart. Now, looking at this chart, you can see the way that it reported earnings, fell into the 50 simple, and has just been on fire ever since. Now, keep in mind that when I'm talking about, Microsoft on various time frames, you have to think about your trading strategy. Now, I have been dollar cost averaging into Microsoft for years. So when I'm looking at it, on a chart like this, obviously, if you're trying to buy stock, buying it at the dead high, not really a great plan. But if you're trading it, certainly you could trade it up into the next zones. But what does it look like from, a long-term investment perspective? Well, as I mentioned, I've been dollar cost averaging into Microsoft. I try to do it, when it pulls back. But, you can also take the route of, hey, let's just buy some every month, no matter what price it is, kind of thing. Because it has just this massive signal here. This signal is a monthly squeeze, and this right here was the prime time key buying opportunity, looking for this thing to trade up into these higher price targets. So what are those price targets? Well, if you look at your fib extensions, you have this moment in time where you have all of these levels coinciding with a key psychological value at 400. And then you have another one up here, 433, pretty close to 450. I really like those key psychological values, especially with these high volume stocks, because they just tend to be a magnet. So looking at it on a higher time frame, those price targets in this stock are going to be 400 and then 433 and then up at 450. So I still think this thing has room to run. As I mentioned, entries are all about timing. So something like investing a bunch of money in the stock right here at this price, it's not really going to give you a great edge. Typically you're going to want to wait for a pullback before you invest in stock. Or, as I mentioned, you could just, regularly institute buys and not worry too much about the price, because it's going to go up and down over time, especially on this longer term time frame. Or if you are trading, you can use these lower time frame charts with these lower time frame targets, 380, 382, 385, especially if you're looking at the high open interest values. Microsoft has an $8 expected move into the end of the week, and you can see that there's a lot of high open interest here at 380. So, that's something that I like to use in the options market, where I'm just targeting a high open interest value. But the moral of the story here is this is big news. Big news, great for the market, great for Microsoft. This is a great stock. I'm just going to keep buying more. I'm going to keep buying more. I'm going to keep trading it. And most importantly, as this thing continues to push the NASDAQ higher, what it means is that the NASDAQ is strong like bull. You can see that we also have a very bullish monthly squeeze set up in the NASDAQ. And the NASDAQ, my friends, is not that far away from making a new all-time high. And it may be Microsoft that carries us to that level and helps us make it there. So, thank you very much for joining me for this video. If you'd like to learn more, you can follow me on Twitter. My handle is Trader Danielle. It's going to be right here. Anyways, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll be following this story, posting more details on my Twitter account, so you can join me there to learn more. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Hey traders, thanks for watching this video. If you want to make sure that you get all of our free trading content, make sure you hit subscribe, and also give us a like and comment down below. If you want to learn more about us, and if you want to join us for live trading in real markets with real money, make sure you go to simplertrading.com, where you can join us for more info. Thank you very much and have a great day.